Yeah, I'm Dr. Rajesh Sahu. I have been into the medical profession since last more than 20 years. And presently, I'm teaching the medical students, both undergraduates and postgraduates. And I'm appointed as a professor in a reputed medical college.
To begin with, Dr. Sahu, let's talk about the structure of the program. So, usually, when people talk about communication, they look at it as very subjective. If I talk about my own experience, it's something that most people think cannot be taught, it can only be practiced. But you just said something about how the program is very scientific. So, of course, there were inspiring aspects to the program, but did you feel that it was philosophical, or did you feel like, no, this is a very objective program and the entire curriculum has a very scientific approach towards it? Can you give me an example or talk more about that?
This was not one or two times what you exactly told, realizing the scientific part of it and the objectivity component. There were a number of moments where we had this feeling. The program was followed. We had a module for 1 week. We used to listen to the videos, pre-recorded videos, which were fabulous. We used to have the discussion forum. And thereafter, we used to have the mastermind session, the amazing session with Gurleen Ma'am. So they were kind of learning, reinforced with discussion, and finally further reinforcement through the mastermind session. And all this 1 week, we have been practicing each and every aspect of it. And we were getting the feedback. Immediately, we were getting the Zenith moment, what I call, to realize, yes, it really works. That was really fascinating.
I think you beautifully kind of summarized how you kind of went through everything over the last 10 weeks. And I think that was really well structured. So let's talk about this. This was a completely online program. There was no offline engagement. And a very common question that I come across when I'm interacting with prospective participants, it's that online is not very impactful. So I would want to ask you that despite this program being online, how was the impact like for you?
There was something paradox. I fully agree with this beginning of the program. And there have been scientific studies, actually. I'm also into medical education. And as far as the medical education was concerned, last 2 years, we have been trying online education. And we didn't receive much of positive feedback either from the student or from the learning what they have done on evaluating them. But the structure and the methodology of this program, I would say, would have been rather better than the offline program or in-person program. Reason being, it was spaced out, as I earlier told you. Each week was dedicated started with the learning, with the video sessions, followed by a lot of discussion and practically applying in day-to-day life. So as I said, this is a paradox. In fact, I think this program is more beneficial on the online platform because it is spaced in such a manner which otherwise is possibly not possible when we are doing offline. You come, you do 3 days workshop, you learn, there's a lot of learning in the one session, and thereafter you forget. The online learning gave an opportunity to learn in bit-sized pieces, apply for 1 week, feel the real-time experiences, modify it to get to the newer height, and get ready for the next learning next week. So it was amazing to have this program in the online mode. I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
What you said, it really reminds me of a conversation that I have with everybody at the beginning of the discussion forum. So when I take my very first discussion forum with all the participants, one thing that I say is that by the end of the 10 weeks, We want communication intelligence to become a very subconscious part of you. And I did not realize that you admired the spacing of the program so much, because from what you're saying, what I'm taking away is that it is the way the program has been spaced out on the online platform has actually allowed you to embed every single part of communication intelligence. And that for me is a very beautiful thing. And that I believe was the desired outcome. I need you to give the viewers of this interview some perspective on this. So, what does a participant need to give in to a program like this? And if somebody gives this program their everything, if they give it whatever it takes, what are the possibilities? What can they expect out of the program?
I think given the content, the concept, and the depth of the program, prospective student should give not less than 1% or less than 2%. He has or she has to give 100% of it with full belief in it that it's going to change the life. And I fully agree that I could not do that. I would have done 70 to 80%, but the amount of benefit that I got, I cannot describe in the words. So the more effort you put in, and then you're going to reap the benefits which are beyond your expectation, beyond anybody's expectation.
So let me give you a follow-up question on this, because I remember you sharing in one of our Zenith Mastermind live sessions that not just in your communication with your colleagues and in your professional life, but also the conversations that you've been having with your kids and the way you've been perceiving everything yourself has changed a lot through, I think it was the 4th week when we had this conversation. So what I'm very interested to know, because you've said this now, is that was the impact of the program strictly restricted to the communication aspect of your life, or did it help you evolve the way you think, your intellect, your creativity, your motivation, your inspiration, the way you come off to other people? What aspects of your life were impacted?
I think it has impacted each and every aspect of my life, be it on personal front or be it on professional front. Talking about the personal front, at the beginning, I used to be more of a dictator parent. I believed in do this, don't do this. But when I applied this concept of empathetic listening to my younger child, who was about 11 years old, the kind of relationship that I have developed with him. Now, we used to hardly talk about anything other than his study. After this program, applying all those things which I learned in empathetic listening, he comes after playing in the evening, searching for me wherever I am. Papa, where are you? He's so excited to share what happened on the playground. And I feel so good. The words can't describe it. The happiness in his eye, the zeal and enthusiasm with which he shares is amazing. And I find applying this empathetic listening with him has created a much deeper bond. And now he listens much more to me, whether it is his studies or his good behavior or his healthy eating or anything for that matter.
That's beautiful.
So that was on personal front. And professional front, I'm upgrading myself because I've got the insight in every aspect using after technology, outcome-driven communication, using these technologies. Every day I'm growing and I'm seeing the difference.
That's wonderful. And now you're talking after your graduation. So you're still growing, and that makes me more happy than anything else. All right. Now that we've been talking about your graduation ceremony and all of these Zenith Mastermind live sessions, let's bring the prime person in this program into focus, Gurleen Ma'am. Now, you've had her as your mentor. How has that experience been for you? And for anybody who has this chance of having Gurleen Ma'am as their mentor, what can they expect out of a mentor like her?
I think the best part of the program, the structure, the concept, and everything is amazing, no doubt. The best part of the program is the mentor herself, because everything is the brainchild of her only. She's moved to implement this program not because of commercial reason, but because of the cause. And that cause to uplift the life of the humans who are finding struggling or a will to improve upon in one or another aspect of their life. That cause to uplift these people is purely visible in her heart and in her eyes. And that is the live mastermind live sessions have been so phenomenal. We could feel the energy. And as a mother, I would say I'll take the opportunity and liberty. Each mother wants her child to raise to a newer height. That kind of energy and encouragement is present in every time we interact with her. That is beyond words. There's no, we cannot describe it into the words and the way we speak. So that kind of energy was always getting absorbed in our body, which I felt it. And that's how I didn't miss even a single mastermind live session. Gurleen Ma'am is a fabulous person who has got an extraordinary ability to read the person, where he is lacking, what are his strengths, and give a tailor-made counseling and advice, which really works, which makes huge difference. And after her mentoring, you are not the same person you were. She's an amazing person. Deep respect for her, deep prayers, big prayers for her to succeed and may her mission improve the life of millions, which her mission is.
My God, that was beautiful. So many people have been mentored by Gurleen Ma'am in the last so many years.
Awesome.
But I couldn't have, and I feel like rarely could anybody put it so beautifully as you have. She really does, she really does bring everything. Like if she asks the participants to bring everything to the table so that they can witness that difference in their life, she actually brings her 1000% to make sure that that energy goes out and everybody is able to witness that difference. She's very invested in each and every one of us. And I think that's what makes Zenith.
Absolutely. In fact, I've taken many of the online courses. This is not the only one. I've taken on many aspects of personal development. The way she is able to connect as one-to-one, which is beyond imagination. I mean, online platform, as it looks like she's talking to you, she's encouraging you, and she will make sure that you do what you actually aspire for and you have the potential for.
I completely agree with that. And that's actually not the first time I'm listening to that. She has this beautiful quality that when you sit in a room with her, irrespective of how many people are in that room at that point in time, everybody feels like ma'am is directly talking to me. And that is the beauty of it. So let's talk about this. From what you've experienced over the last 10 weeks, I wanted to bring some perspective over here as to, from your experience, how do you now look at the difference that exists between communication intelligence and communication skills?
Many things which we cannot be explained in words, we can be explained in facts and figures. So I'll just say a single sentence. Communication skill is not even 1% of communication intelligence. Why so? Because for a common person or layman who doesn't understand that communication skills, which may be confused for him with communication intelligence, is simply the art of speaking well, framing, using the fancy words, using them in a very good accent, and just conveying the idea from one person to another. And at times, this may be fake, but communication intelligence is actually speaking your heart out, actually speaking what you as a person are. And it goes into realizing wherever your weaknesses are, where your limitations are, on a continuous improvement cycle using Kaizen technique to evolve as a human, which is totally different and a totally different higher level what you actually were before that.
What I take from what you said is that communication intelligence changes you from within.
Absolutely. You don't have to fake to make the good communication skills, because communication intelligence will take you to a much more improvement is actually a very small term, to a totally chiseled out next level Zenith kind of person who doesn't have to fake or who doesn't have to consciously think to communicate well. It will be in your blood.
That's beautiful. And I love how you incorporated being your authentic self while communicating. Absolutely. And still being able to make that impact. That for me is the highlight of what you said. So what have been your takeaways? What have been your most profound learnings, takeaways from communication intelligence over the last 10 weeks?
So I had come with the expectation that I should be getting 100% of this program. I had paid for it and I should be able to take it back. But to my surprise, this program has provided me at least 10x from my expectation. And as a person, I'm a different person. And I'm learning and using all those techniques, all those insights, all those new perspectives that I've got. I'm able to connect to the people now in a very, very real, in a very, very authentic manner. And that's so empowering. Same, you feel the joy of life after having it, if I have to summarize it, in each and every moment.
Oh, talk about going beyond communication intelligence. You've really summed it up very well. So over the course of the program, everybody comes in with their specific needs. And somebody wants clarity in their communication. Somebody wants to be able to connect with the other people very well. Somebody wants to stop reacting. And everybody, depending on the kinds of needs that people have, they will obviously have different action plans. And not everything is restricted to communication intelligence. Like we've talked about, this course is about, being able to change from within. So through the course of the program, from what I recall, you did, you had the opportunity to receive certain extra resources and certain extra action plans from Gurleen Ma'am directly and from the Zenith family, from Zenith. So I need to know, how valuable were these resources for you? And were you expecting them to come your way, considering that so many of them were much beyond communication intelligence?
Yeah, so as a part of free buys or surprise gifts, which Gurleen Ma'am always had something or other in her magic box to take out from. So I specifically would like to mention about an ebook she had given to raise the confidence level, which I'm practicing, and I found it so powerful, and it's deeply impacting my life. Not only the confidence, it is not, again, I've come to whatever teaching which are provided in Zenith, unlike any other personality improvement or communication skill improvement classes, they try to change the outer aspect, how you should be reflecting. The ebook that I got for to increase the confidence is actually changing me from inside And every time I'm using those techniques, it's increasing my confidence level as perceived by people around me to newer and greater heights. So that is one special resource that I like to mention. Apart from many others, because of time constraint, like that, I would not like to, won't be able to mention each and every.
All right. And were you expecting them to come your way? You mentioned that, that these are like all Gurleen Ma'am always like, I'd like to take like the example of Doraemon here. I used to watch this cartoon when I was younger, and whenever Nobita would get into trouble, he would take out something from
Yeah.
his, magic pocket. So like you've completely wonderfully summarized it. Gurleen Ma'am has this treasure box, and she always has certain gifts for everybody. The first time that you got it, what were you feeling about it? What was your first reaction?
So first reaction, to be very frankly speaking, was, oh, another task. I'll have to read it, and I'll have to probably go through it. I don't know whether it will make some difference. But since Gurleen Ma'am has sent it, so I'm obliged to go through it. Once I read the ebook about how to build up your confidence, it resonated deep in heart, and I realized, yes, there are areas where I feel lack of confidence, and it is not because of I lack the potential. It is because of the lack of techniques which I should be practicing and not practicing. And it went beyond my expectation. And in fact, I'm still in the first week. I've completed 4 days of practicing all those techniques. It is a given. Each day you have to learn one technique per day and practice it. So on day 4, I am seeing the difference.
Amazing. That's beautiful. What I really liked, what you said, that most programs, they focus on changing the outer aspects of personality. But the core idea of Zenith is being able to evolve you from within. And I think you've perfectly summarized what the entire concept of the inner intelligence framework is, because when you change and when you evolve from the inside, it reflects on the outside, and you don't have to like pretend or show or work very hard, because you're able to feel the difference, and it shows on your face. It's like when you start working out, the way you walk in your daily life, that also changes. So you don't have to like work on walking better. It automatically happens because your body is that much fitter and you're feeling that much confident. You're buying better clothes. So it's just like that. And I feel like you've perfectly summarized that.
Absolutely. Aafreen, you actually hit the bullseye. I'm feeling that. And the best part is that it is not you only feeling the difference. If you feel just by reading some self-help book that you have to be confident, you have so much of potential, that we keep reading everywhere. But here, practicing those small techniques, backed up by the confidence and the faith instilled by Gurleen Ma'am, and remembering all those connects, all those powerful words she has told to us during mastermind live sessions. We have an unshakable faith, so much of potential we have. And yes, you are telling, this feedback is not coming from, not only from inside, this feedback is coming from outside. For an example, my boss, my superior, over last 2-3 weeks, I'm seeing a different kind of response in his eyes, different kind of reaction, different type of respect, different type of trust in me when I'm using the learning over 10 weeks, and especially the guide to confidence.
That's amazing.
It's so much amazing. The money or monetary benefits taken apart, those joy of happiness and the confidence, which is absolutely authentic, no money can buy. And that gives so much of joy of living a life to the fullest. I'm so
What's
grateful.
Thank you so much for sharing that. What's truly beautiful for me is that I am able to see it on your face right now. Your face is glowing, your smile is saying something about you, and that says more than anything any words could. Um, okay, so let's talk about people who want to join Zenith. What would you want to say to them? Why should they be a part of this platform?
So for all those people who have been firstly fortunate to come to know about Zenith and are in dilemma. Firstly, there are a large chunk who doesn't have the fortune to search and know that Zenith is existing. There's something known as communication intelligence or 5K program. But at least God has given them this fortune to know about Zenith exists. And like me, who I was about 12 weeks back, I was fortunate enough to know about Zenith, but I was totally confused and didn't know another communication enhancement class or personality development class. What's going to difference personalities, as they say in medical science, is kind of very unchangeable aspect of life. It's difficult to change one's personality. But going from those days when I was still taking time, whether this much of money, whether this much of devoting time will be of worth or not. From that moment to the moment today, I would say to each aspirant who's even thinking 1% giving a trial to joining this class, please do not delay the fortune which God has given you, the opportunity. There's some power, there's some divine power which has made you to come to know that there's something which is known as Zenith exists. And your life will be changed forever. You will be a different person, which I am a different person after attending this program. And it will be setting a kind of starting point to go to a level which is beyond imagination. So please don't hesitate, don't delay your fortune, and just go for it.
That's very nicely put, Dr. Sahu. I want to say that it has been such a wonderful learning experience for all of us having come across you at Zenith, and the kind of humility that you've shown through the program. You're a very accomplished person, and you have so many years of experience behind you. You're such a respected person at your workplace, and undoubtedly you've accomplished a lot in your life. But still, the coachability with which you sit in this program and you've learned and absorbed every single thing, and still you say that you've only done 70% of it, that has been a true learning experience for everybody who's been a part of this program in the community with you. And I would just like to say I have been very fortunate to have gotten to know you through this through the last 10 weeks. So thank you so much for your contribution to the community. Anything that you'd like to say as we end this interview? Any leaving or last comments?
I won't be doing the justice to my interview if I'll not acknowledge you, Aafreen, as our the person who is to make sure that our assignments are completed. You used to make your discussion and forums so lively, so interactive, and so impactful. So I would like to acknowledge, apart from Gurleen Ma'am, the second person who made this program amazing and an outstanding program of its own, which I'm sure no program in the world is of that level. So thank you, Aafreen, for a great coach, a great mentor, you as well. And when we were approaching towards graduation ceremony, I was actually feeling little frightened and little this. Now we will not be having any more mastermind classes, no more discussion forum to look forward for, which I used to look forward for. I'd become kind of, these were the things which I used to look forward for every week. I have a very busy schedule. I'm also a fitness freak. So it's very difficult to find the time out. But notwithstanding that, these two things which I used to look forward for, that I'm actually missing after completion of this program and after having gone through the graduation ceremony. These two sessions used to fill up and pump us with so much of energy, emotions, and positive energy that it used to last throughout the week and to gain some more power next week. So that is I really missed, and since I'm fortunate to enroll for the next part of this program, those are the 5Q leadership. So I'm sure I'm going to revive and relish those sessions more.
Absolutely.
After having completed the communication intelligence.
Absolutely. And Zenith is always open to you no matter what. We're a family here. And you're also very kind with your words. Thank you for everything that you said. Way too kind, I would say. I don't even know if I deserve as many of the compliments as you bestowed, but I am grateful nonetheless. Thank you so much for giving me your time today, Dr. Sahu. It was a wonderful experience interviewing you today, and I look forward to seeing you in the 5-minute intelligence framework.